Hello, guys, and thank you for joining me today. My name is David. I do academic advising, I do military advising, I do career advising. I've been doing academic advising for a long time now. I know how this college system works. So, right now, I want to make a video today because I just came back from Liberty University a few days ago on a tour with my sister. Actually, she just got into law school at Liberty University, and they did this huge event where we could come in and visit the entire family, where they kind of trying to convince us to go to Liberty over other schools, right? And the thing that with Liberty is that I am an alumni from Liberty University. I went there for a bachelor degree in physics at Liberty University, and as someone who is military, I want to make a case why Liberty is the best military school to go to. So if you're in the military, or if you're a military spouse, or if you have certain things with the military, Liberty is actually the best school to go to, even for ROTC, even for anything else as well. And I'll make that case. I think a lot of people who think of Liberty, and before we continue, if you're new to this channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're returning, thank you for joining me for this conversation. Right, so Liberty has a name for itself. It's a big name school in Virginia. It's in Lynchburg, Virginia. And I think a lot of people in the military, I think we need to address the elephant in the room, which is the most popular colleges and university to get while you're in the military, that would be AMU, which is the American Military University, not associated with the military, but they do a lot of accommodation for the military, and it's in the APU system, so American Public University. So that's the civilian side. The military side is AMU. You take the same classes, you have the same professors and everything as well, but they kind of separate it out. So if you're in the military, you feel a little bit more special about yourself. And the reason that I would sponsor going to or encourage to go to Liberty University over a school like AMU, or let's say University of Maryland, the global campus, the online one, it used to be called the University of Maryland University College. Now they changed it to global campus, right? So the reason for that is that we need to address why AMU I don't think is the best for the military personnel. Is because it is a for-profit university. It is a bit more of a degree mill. So if you just attend, and you do some of the work, you're probably going to get there's not very rigorous courses that you could take, but AMU very much attract military personnel because it's really easy to use your TA with it. It's really easy to start classes with it because there's classes starting, I think they said like every week or something like that. So if you're trying to just get some classes out of the way, AMU is really easy. Now, I'm not discouraging you from joining AMU, but I know for a fact that certain employers do not hire AMU graduate, right? They would discriminate against it, but this is true for any university. But AMU has been kind of linked to more of a easy degree, and it also depends on what you're getting your degree in versus where you go, and that's always been the case. So now, if you go to AMU, I'm not putting you down. You can always transfer to Liberty because Liberty takes a lot of credits as well. AMU is online, 100% online. There's no brick and mortar, right? Liberty has a brick and mortar campus, really huge. It's the biggest Christian university in the world. So the brick and mortar of Liberty kind of gives more of a respect and stuff like that AMU would not have, because it's an online. AMU is for profit, Liberty is non-profit, right? So that's something that we need to kind of discuss and get it out of the way. So I don't want to make this video about AMU versus Liberty, right? I just want to talk about Liberty, but I can't address this unless I talk about the biggest elephant in the room, which is AMU, the number one school that people would go to. And in my opinion, it is more of a degree mill, right? It is, and it's not as respected, right? But it is regionally accredited, and you can transfer to a bigger school. It doesn't have all the degrees that you need. Liberty is that also they have a huge online campus as well, and they also very much accommodate military personnel. They have 2 semester, a semester. So two terms a semester. So you can start in the August, right? Like let's say the fall semester, you can start in August, which is the beginning of the semester, or mid semester, which is I would say September, I think October time frame, where you would do 2 8-week classes, and you can kind of start it that way. The reason I really like Liberty is not just because of its online presence, it's also very much accommodate to the military. So if you are a military member, you are capped out at $250 a credit for undergraduate, 275 for a graduate, and $300 per credit for doctorate level degree, which is crazy that you can get a whole doctorate with $300 per credit hours, right? And that is very crazy to me. Now you can get even more discount on top of that. So the reason that let's say like someone may get even less more scholarship on that, or pay even less if they were a first responder. So if you're a military, you might already have some first responder. It doesn't need to be current. So I got a 25% discount on top of the military discount of capping off. So if I went to get my master's degree, which is cap out of 275, it actually come down to around 200, a little bit under $200 per credit hour, which is crazy cheap for a master's level degree. So it is one of those things that you should consider. So when I did my internship, or my application for the EMS, I didn't even know about it. So I'm going to tell you what happened. I went to talk to the Liberty admission office, and they were talking about the first responder discount. I worked for a police station when I was very, very young. So like when I was still in high school. Now I was not a first responder. I was not anything like that. But I worked for the police department as an intern or something like that. And I gave cough-baited right along. And I kind of did a volunteer work for the police department. And I guess Liberty counted. And I had a little bit proof that I didn't even know I'm going to need. So I sent it to them. And I didn't thought they were gonna approve it because I was not a police officer. I just kind of helped police officer, and they're like, "Okay, well this actually qualify. We're gonna give you 25 additional percentage discount on top of your military discount," and that was quite amazing. Now I want to kind of go into Liberty and why it's such a good college for person in military to go, because it has a fully ABA accredited engineering school. It has a very vast majority or variety of associate, bachelor that you can get 100% online, right? So I got my physics degree, and it is also offered online, and that's where I got it from. Was online, and I transfer, and they'll take up to 90 credits for undergraduate degree, which is crazy. Most school at most will take 60, and if you go to a really, really big name school like MIT or Stanford, they'll only take like 14 credits. So that's almost nothing. So that's one of the things that I really like about Liberty. They're also not political. And that a lot of people will say, don't go to Liberty because they're so political and conservative. They're more conservative. It's not true, right? They're very non-biased. We don't really talk about politics in classes. I had some conservative professor. I had some liberal professors, right? But if you go to another school, they're so progressive. Like they're very left-leaning progressive, and they're crazy progressive. You're not going to get non-politics. Now, if you do lean that way and you like that, then that's for you. But if you're a progressive and you come to Liberty University, you're not going to be discriminated against, or you are not going to feel discriminated because they don't really talk about politics in classes, right? So Liberty, what really, really win it for me is because it's not just because of the tuition rate, which is really, really low. It's actually the lowest that I found, even lower than a lot of community colleges. If you have military discount on top of your first responder discount. What I did notice with Liberty is that they have very, very wide degrees that you can pick into engineering. So if you look at like AMU, and I hate to keep bringing this up, They do have electrical engineering, a bachelor in electrical engineering, but it's not accredited. It is regionally accredited, which is not what you need for engineering. You need ABET accredited, right? And it's not ABET accredited. So if you got that degree, you're useless. It's almost a scam at that point because it's not set to that A accreditation. So it's like going to a non-accredited medical school or a non-accredited like law school. You're just like it's just a worthless piece of paper at that point. So like if you go to Liberty and they do have a couple online bachelor degree, so that would be in engineering. So civil and industrial, you can take 100% online, right? And the rest of engineering, you can also take on campus. So like mechanical, they have the rest, and it's fully accredited with ABET, and it's a really good institution. I actually went there in person for one semester as a PhD candidate. So I did a PhD there for one semester. I had a little bit of family constraint at that time, so I couldn't finish it. It has this huge wide variety. You can get a master's in engineering, and you can also get like an online master's in engineering management, which is also pretty huge. A lot of schools don't offer it. A lot of online schools don't offer those type of degree because engineering is very, very unique, and you need special accreditation. So, like you have like school that will put in like non-accredited engineering degree or like like non-accredited engineering degree or something in that manner, right? So that's what I kind of put my. It has a fully functioning medical school, which a lot of university, even big name state school, even Princeton doesn't have medical school, right? It has a law school, which is also one of those things where not every school has it. Only around 190 school in the country has an accredited law school. So their Liberty is really, really high up there when it comes to that. It is huge when it comes to sports. It has a really good football team, if that's what you're into. And importantly, not just that they have good veterans affair, they also have a post or pre-military. So they have a huge ROTC program. So if you want to join the Air Force, the Army, like what, you can go through the Air Force or the Liberty University and do ROTC through it. You can't do it through AMU, you can't do it to UMGC, you can't do it through these other schools. But Liberty, you can do that, and you can go from online to in person really easily because it's the same university, and you get the same degree even if you go online. It doesn't say Liberty University online, right? It just said Liberty University for all online courses, in-person courses. It's a great place to have that type of connection, and because of that, me being an alumnus from there, I was able to get my sister in due to legacy, right? So because I was an alumni, my sister applied to law school, and it makes them want to take her more because law school is extremely, extremely hard to get into, right? And Liberty has a very good law school. I don't think it rank as high as it should be because they rank in like the best, the highest first-time pass rate of all LSAT or bar exam taker for law school. They're ranked this year and last year as #1 in moot court, right? And that's it's a competition for lawyers, right? For they go to this competition, they beat Harvard, they beat other Yale, college. So they're beating these big names and they're at that level. And I was able to listen to a few of their class, and I was able to have the privilege of watching their final for 1L. First year law student argue in front of a court for a moot court, right? Argue a case, and the way they're making these arguments it was blowing me away. I had people from Pepperdine, which is in California, really good law school, who's saying that Pepperdine moot court is not at this level, right? As Liberty. So that's one of the things that it's very, very good, and it's just not ranked as well because it's conservative and it's more Christian. Now, politics. You're not gonna be discriminated against because of that. They are last point is graduation. They go all out for their graduation, and if you're a military member, they have an extra graduation ceremony for you on top of all the extra. Like most school that you go to, like any state school, you're just gonna go for an hour and that's it, right? You go in. One day you bought all these type of gown. You went all out to go on to the stage. You get it. They hand you the degree. Bye bye. We'll have some speaker. Bye bye. End of that. Right? Not at Liberty. Liberty graduation ceremony and the graduation is 3 day event. And they really make you feel like you accomplished something. They make you feel like you're the center. You have all these type of events for graduate for that day. You have initial graduation ceremony that kicks off all the graduation. At the that everyone would go to at the football stadium. So you would have that commencement ceremony. You didn't get your degree yet, and then but they'll have a lot of speaker. You have jets flying over, and then after that, then you have a regular graduation that you can go to your colleges and universities. There are many schools inside a university, right? So I went to the art and sciences, the graduation in a different place on the day after that, and I had that graduation, and the entire time they were giving us food, they were giving us a t-shirt, we're talking, there's a bunch of recruiter coming in to see if they can hire you. You don't have a job yet. And then I went to that, and then on top of that there is a military specific graduation ceremony on top of that. That kind of shows you how much they love military, right? So they would have this military graduation where they would have a chaplain who was in the military come up and speak. We kind of go through all these things, and at the end they hand a coin to every one of you. So if you're in the military, you understand how much coin means. You got coin by a colonel, at that point, a retired colonel. He's a chaplain, and that means a lot. And yeah, so it feels a lot more, right? So let's kind of summarize it. It has a associate all the way to a doctorate level degree that you can get online. It has a great online presence, so you can kind of have that online presence. If you are working using your TA and stuff like that, you get extra discount if you're a first responder, and you can just volunteer at like a police station as just doing something, right? Like being a janitor might even kind of help with just serving them some coffee. And you can also get all these like a degree from a brick and mortar institution that has a present. They have very, very high level and very high colleges, like I said, law school and medical school up there. And their engineering degree that they do offer online is ABA accredited, which is very important. They have very extensive alumnus networking, so you can always reach out to the career and development office, and they'll help you find a job if you're struggling. So there's a lot of things that you could kind of do, right, and that they offer you, right? And on top of that, if you go in person, they have a year-round ski slope that is you can ski in the middle of summer because they have this type of fake snow that they use. It's not cold. This very cool science, like a turf-like material that gets wet, right, and it holds water and it kind of slides. So that's kind of what they have. They have shooting range. They have all these things. And you're not kind of in the type of college environment that you have to hide yourself, right? You're if you're a conservative, you're not progressive, like anything but progressive. So if you're like moderate liberal, if you're a moderate conservative, you're gonna feel more comfortable at Liberty versus going to these very left-leaning progressive university that is just completely brainwashed with Marxism and all these different gender ideology and stuff like that. That's just kind of it. It's not bad for you to learn to understand the argument, but if that's the only side you're learning, they're failing you in their education, right? And so that's kind of my take in it. And I'll do another video regarding Liberty Law School and Liberty, something else later. But this is my video of why Liberty is the best military school that you should pick, and why you should go to it if you are a military personnel, you're a military veteran, or you're thinking of joining the military. I think Liberty is probably the go-to for all military, and the best school for military. Oh, also, if you agree, disagree, please comment below. I do reply to everything. So if you have questions about Liberty and how I felt when I was going to Liberty and degree versus whatever, if you need even like academic advising, how to get in law school, I got my sister into law school. I went above and beyond and I did advise her on how to go and we kind of landed on that. I got my wife into medical school. So I have a lot of experience when it comes to that. I have very, very extensive knowledge when it comes to academic. I myself got into Johns Hopkins for my graduate degree. I got into Rice University. I got into Stanford. I got into Columbia, right, for a master's degree, among a bunch of other state schools, including Purdue University, which is ranked really high for engineering at that time. And I was doing a master's in engineering. That's what I was looking for. I eventually landed in Oregon State because I wanted to do nuclear physics, right? And that's the only place that offer it. But if you have any question, please comment below. If you want to set up an appointment with me, we can kind of talk as well. All right, bye-bye. Peace, subscribe, and like this video.